Welcome back, dear viewers. Thank you for staying with us. We'll be talking here about changing the behaviors of young children, young people, especially in regards to environmental behavior and its relationship with sustainable development goals, childhood and development, the positive development of children, the development of awareness in children, and again, the development of the children's behavior in order to meet with SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And we'll be doing that in the company of Dr. Gihan Zahran, the Educational Technology and Development Expert. A very good morning to you, Dr. Gihan. Thank you for staying with us. A very interesting topic. How would you like to start here?
I'd like to start with the alpha generation.
Yeah.
So we know exactly this alpha generation who was born in 2011 till 2025. Okay, this generation, it has special characteristics. I'm not going to talk more about what we can do today, what in our generation, our level of thinking, because most of us know exactly the direction. But we care more about the alpha generation, and which is really the more focusing in the whole world right now. This generation actually in 2025 will be considered 10% from the world market. In 2030, they're going to be more than 20%. 2050, they will have like 39 years, so they're going to have the leadership of the whole world. But that's why we were focusing actually about alpha generation. Alpha generation, it has main characteristics that really well known from now. They are 100% digitalized, 100%. Okay, you know that 2011 when they just born, everything that make it by phone, and they can easily use the smartphones, the smart machines so easily, and this is piece of cake to them. And that's will let them actually depending on the learning visualizing. So they cannot learn with the normal way like before the young generation. So they always depending on the visual. So concentrating on the visual, so they have like more than 8% concentrating. They cannot take the concentration more than that. Okay, when you just talk to any of this young generation and you repeat the word or you repeat sentences 2 times in 8 seconds, he will just get away from you. So actually what we are talking about this alpha generation right now is just to talk to their languages, how to teach them, how to give them the right way, the guideline with their languages, okay? Because if you talk with your languages, they will escape away. More than 100% actually from that generation, they like just to move quickly, and they like to work. They are not lazy because of their using the smartphones. On the opposite, they are very active, very active. Learning in the teaching techniques, in the recent way of teaching techniques, this is actually what I'm talking about. The period from K to 12, okay, before grads, before the university, before that level, we care about this a lot. When we give them something, talking to their languages, and to teach them unwillingly, by behavior, by something, giving them again to the culture, burning them basics like before, with special applications, with a special technology as they are using it. So I think this is the only thing that we can get quickly to the mind. Because one a day, useful things and the traditional way of teaching, we cannot just put it aside. No, it will be the same thing. But we have to integrate the language of their generation to be actually living with the sustainable goals with the
Yes.
SDGs.
Now, environmental awareness in children is key and key to achieving one of the main sustainable development goals, which is protecting the environment.
Yeah.
So could you talk to us about environmental education and its aims and how to raise awareness of young people, of children regarding that key
And
topic?
I will make it very simple because I need the people actually and the parents and everybody just will listen to us now to know exactly how we can do it in an educational way.
Yeah.
Very simple. When you just tell anyone, do this and don't do that, it will be like something that has someone to follow the rules and that's it. But if you make it in a smooth way and something that he's doing it and he's aware later on, and this is the right thing, okay? Like exactly when you get to the kid and we get group work together and we start to plant a tree, for example, okay, and observe the tree and look exactly what's going on as a scientific thing. And we are observing the steps of the tree and how it's the effect of that and how we're going to do this and if we do this and that and we can complete the garden a little bit, which is going to be something very, very beautiful and useful and related to something activity and the same thing. Now you are teaching the kid that putting this tree in that place, it will make 1, 2, 3, 4 effectively. And when you tell him what the effect of that, or what you think about giving this and the oxygen and the H2O and blah, 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 the things that's organic scientifically, he will just talk spontaneously. And he will talk unwillingly. And this is actually what we need in our education. We need to teach them unwillingly and don't tell them by order. This is the right and this is the wrong. No, we want to give them by behavior. We need their behavior to change smoothly, like any culture that you're learning the kids. So in educational field, what I actually need to say about that, the integration between the technology, all right, and the changing behavior. I'm not talking about improved behavior. I need to change behavior. What we are seeing right now in our generation, it just they are blocking any advice from anyone who just give them advice. They're just blocking and get away. They think that this is useless. Because we have to make something like the aim, the integration, the teamwork. And that's actually one of the techniques of teaching called Montessori. Montessori system is depending on activities more, is depending on something the group work, the teamwork, the kids are doing together something and they realize later on that this is something very useful by observation. And they let the kid choose the activity by himself. And that will make him not follow a system or one system. He will choose so many activities. Give them the choices, but give them lots of right choices in front of him. And in that way, he will choose one of them. And definitely, one of them will be the right one. But actually going in one direction, this is always make the opposite results for education.
Okay. So, and also for the education to be effective, I guess they would have to have role models or see the elder generation also as well concerned with environment protection. So, how important is it, to raise the awareness of the elderly as well? Because many of the elderly generation find this a new topic, find this, they cannot really grasp the necessity of protecting the environment. Some do, but others don't.
Yeah, actually,
they think it's a luxury. It's not a luxury, but many people do think that.
That will make a very great effect, by the way, for the children when they make a group work with an elder one, with a model one. So, and that's why we use someone when elder age, like for example, grade 11. Let's make an example in education. Grade 11 students, and he's well in education and top in scientific, for example, subject, and he will go to grade 2 students and will do with them some activities.
Yeah.
And they will, you know, I don't want to tell you what the impression of the students in that way. I'm just talking about one sample that can be done in a small school, small scale, not bring them a model well known in the media or in the whole world just to bring them with them. No, at all. It will be a model near to them, and believe me, this will have a very great effect. And that's actually what we're using in the recent also technology in methodological way of teaching to attract the students that this is the right thing to follow. Okay, because most of the students not leaders by skills, they're followers. And we have, you know, like limited leaders.
Right.
So we just choose the leaders to be with the followers. And that's rotation. It's easily for any educational or instructor that he can be rotate them according to the skill he wants to teach the students in that. And by time, they will learn exactly this is the right way of doing that. But using the topic, the objective, today we are going to learn how the importance of the plants. It cannot be like that, not like before. No, we have to give them from the back to the front. We have to tell them, let's make a game. And that's actually what the initiative is doing right now. And it will be, inshallah, very soon in public for all educational in Egypt, that the game, we found out lately that the game is the solution. The game is the solution for teaching our kids how to behave well.
You mean make it fun? Make it a fun process?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you find the kid are making a game, you know, most of the people actually that, you know, the kids are very fond or crazy about PUBG and Candy Crush and that's really well known on mobile applications, phone, and we can make it like that.
In fact, that stuff is getting old now. I mean,
yeah,
some people say that this is already old.
This is already old.
These things are...
There is lots of things.
Yeah.
I'm just giving it, you know, like well-known, common, because I need the audience to remember actually to know what I'm talking about. But this is actually what my initiative to be done. A game with behavior, okay? A game not only for Egyptians, not only for Arabs, for the whole world. But it comes from Egyptian source.
Okay.
This application actually, I called it Meta. Meta folder, Meta, whatever. This application gives one of the SDGs, okay, and we are focusing on it, and we make it like levels. Okay, you know, kids are love and fond of playing games. Let's make about sample for making, you know, like changing the weather, for example, and pollution. Okay, so this application will make something related to cleaning, for example, the sea. Let's say that, and the kids will follow goals to clean the pollution around the sea. Next level, they will go under the sea. Another level, okay, which is a little bit elder level, 18 plus, they will communicate together to do something real, okay, and that will make them related to the application to get score. So we will clean that area in the Red Sea, for example, and communicating groups together. Because internet now, they're going to make their locations and they know exactly, oh, I'm going to play this game with you and you are in Alex with me, for example, in that area. So we have to do something related to cleaning this part, and we will integrate it to our application, and that will make us make scores. So actually, this is the way, I think this is the best way for educational young learners to learn more with game, with fun. Because learning is fun. If you lose the fun, you will lose all the source of knowledge.
Right. Dr. Gihan, the word positive development, you know, we always hear about, you know, positive development. Can you define for us positive development and how would positive development serve SDGs? Positive development of children, of course.
Yeah, definitely. If we talk about positive development, we talk about positive development in the behavior, in the culture, and the mindset, in the learning, in the attitudes, in the thinking, in the skills. So
Yeah.
we will improve their development, or we will improve their all of the fields around them to get the goal at the end.
Yeah.
And that will make us focus about really again, the loyalty. Okay, I'm always focusing in education about loyalty. We had this before actually in our education. We had this before. Well, we had this in our governmental schools before. We have the loyalty of the school. We have one thing that the leader and we have all the activities that make the students take care about his place, take care about his friend, take care about his property, take care about the leader inside his character. But actually we're losing that. We're losing that a lot. So we need to come back, like Singapore right now. Singapore experience that they have like from KG to grade 5. They just teach the students how to behave, how to be connected to his environment, how to love his teacher, how to talk, how to eat, how to deal with the older people in the street. Okay, they give them education actually, but they don't count them on scores, pass or don't pass. But after grade 5, okay, come and I have these grades and marks and let us count about this. But from the early years, if we made that, we will make our generation completely different. Let them love what they have, let them love the country, let them take care about the kids, let them take care about each other. And in that environment, we'll let them feel freely about education. They will learn how to behave according to the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, which is already, we're talking about it a lot, but we need to have an action related to that. The action is changing behavior, not improve behavior. We need to change them completely.
I guess when we say environmental behavior, you even mentioned it now in your speech, when we talk about the environment, it's not just the land or the sea or the trees or the sky or the waters and so on. The environment is everything, basically everything around you. So when we say environmental behavior, we are talking about how would children deal with their own peers, I guess, with, with the small communities they are in, right? So this means that environmental behavior is such a big, it has so many dimensions, doesn't it?
Definitely.
I mean, it's inclusive.
Definitely. It's the whole world around you. You are in the core and you're dealing with everything. If you deal with one of the items in the wrong way, you will lose the other item. So we have, that's why the SDGs, you know, like it's 17 one. It has covering everything around you. And when we talk about education, this is the main core of everything. We are educating our kids how to deal with that, how to behave. And that's the most important thing in education, and to change the culture.
Right. Dr. Gihan, what are some of the difficulties you are encountering, or people like you are encountering, in implementing such great positive ideas?
Actually, the mentality of the educators. When you're just making a new idea, the normal resistance that we always face. When you got a new thing, when you build the bridges, okay, so you find resistance, but later on you'll find out this is something good, okay, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the resistance in every step, that it has a new idea to improve, okay. Most of the traditional way of teaching, the sticking on the mind about educating our kids in the normal way, and they feel like this is a holy Quran. No, this is a teaching.
There is room for innovation.
Exactly. Teaching, you have to be flexible. You have rules, you have plans, you have curricula. Perfect. But when you find out that this is something missing or something I have to focus in because this will impact lots of, effects on the students himself, we have to take care of this. We have to change our mentality with teaching according to the mindset of the generation right now. Our generation is more clever than us, okay? They are speedy. So, and if you stick to your rule with your students, he will not be convinced with you. You will lose self-confidence actually, and although you will lose his respect. But if you engage the students with you and tell them that we want to do this together, help me in that, he will be great help and he will be great support. This is actually what I'm facing most of the time, the ego of the teachers and the instructors for giving them, I'm bigger than you, I'm higher than you in knowledge. But they don't know exactly this attitude will make the opposite knowledge to their students. This is actually what I'm facing a lot. When I'm teaching
Makes
and
a
I'm
lot
making,
of sense,
yes,
yeah.
when I'm training some of the educators and teachers, they stick to the way.
And I guess part of this resistance could come out of fear. Maybe they fear, those educators would fear that they would not be successful in this new, way of thinking or way of teaching.
Actually, fear is always coming from lack of knowledge. Okay. If you know exactly what the recent way, this is the right way normally, we're not inventing something new, by the way. This is in the whole world education, and this is something having a great impact in everywhere. So this is what I'm telling you. Lack of knowledge will let people a little bit fear and don't have the risk.
Yeah, I'm sure the younger generation of teachers will have less fear and would be more willing to take risk and will be inshallah.
No, by the way, I'm not
in
telling
the
that
future.
because the old people, they have the more knowledge and they give us the
Yeah,
advice,
of course.
and we learn from them
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
But we need to cope.
Yeah, exactly. Get the best of both
Yes.
worlds. Indeed.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, dear viewers, that's all the time we have for this interesting discussion here. On behalf of you, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Gihan Zahran, Educational Technology and Development Expert. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thanks to you.
Gihan, and
Thanks
good
to you.
luck with your efforts.
Thank you.
Dear viewers,